America. So sweet. Oh my God, it's America. All right, any more Q&As? I do realize I have a fair amount of knowledge to pass on, so if anybody has any questions, let me know. Hi, how are you? You smell funny, says Kyle A. Spencer. You're not banned for life. Trying to make... No, you're not. I'm not going to ban you for that. I know I'm trying real hard to get my numbers down, but that would have been an act of tyranny. And since I am kind of pitching a new idea that I should be, king of a region at least, I don't want to be tyrannical. What do you think about the outages in New York City today? I think it's the beginning of a lot more. If you don't love your wife and kids, now that gets a banning. You don't know anything about kids. You don't know that wives have to put kids to bed. And dads at that point have a couple options. Some dads go in the basement and whack themselves silly to pornos, like Nick Fuentes' dad. I talk to the people and increase my bonds with good people because I don't watch pornography. Do you feel the quake at all a few days ago? No, I'm too big to feel earthquakes. Owen, King of the Northwest. That sounds perfect. Was just watching your video on Busy Town Book. It's a good one. I'm going to leave it up for a couple days, I think. I usually take all my videos down, but do you have pic of property before and after the work you've done? I do, Tommy. I should put that up. Fuck porn? Yeah, it's terrible for your soul. The best advice I can give any man is stop watching porn. It's like that will free your mind to a degree that you can't imagine. You'll stop being a creepy little retard. I'm drinking spring water with a real squeeze of fruit. I don't know. Boom. America. Thoughts on the Stars Academy? Hang on, let me just get a better chair. I like you, you're crazy, but you make sense. Then I'm not crazy then. I think our culture is fucking crazy. I think the fact that our entertainment is about sexualizing kids and violence is insane. Went without it for 2 years. It is possible, friends. It's beyond possible. Once you get past it, you can't believe you were ever that much of a fag. Porn isn't bad, but I feel you. Yes, it is. It's one of the worst things you can do to your mind. It rewires your brain to be passive. And you sexualize the world. It's so bad for your brain. It's worse than smoking, drinking, all that stuff. Jews weaponized it. That's historically accurate. They would put pornography on Palestinian television before they invaded because they wanted the men to be cucked. It's also the first line of pushing a new agenda. Blacks on blondes, tranny porn, like all that stuff. It was to push acceptance. When people are literally beating off to a new worldview that's all fucking twisted, they then can't fight it in real life. And now it's about sexualizing the family. Stepmom, stepsister, my naughty stepsister, all that stuff. It's so fucking evil. And I'm not coming at this from a point of view of a prude. I've watched a lot of porn. I've whacked off a lot in my life. I'm not saying like, oh my God, you're so satanic. You are full of sin. You are though. It's a weapon, guys. It's a better weapon than fucking poison gas. Global homo agenda. Why is all the porn in the world free in your pocket? Like, why do I feed my goats a certain pellet so they sit there and let me milk them? Don't be retarded. Porn is a fruitless endeavor, therefore it goes against God. I can't even begin to explain what it does to your brain. When you stop, that's why they always would say jerking off makes you go blind. It does. You still see the colors, like you're not Stevie Wonder, who I don't think is really blind, by the way. Israel did weaponize porn. Exactly. They did it to Germany. They pumped it. They were sending train loads of smut. Do you know a lot of those big fires that the Nazis were burning books, was porn? You know, that's like, oh yeah, and you'll never have erectile dysfunction. Erectile dysfunction comes from porn. It makes you not breed. Like, you literally no longer breed. Your dick doesn't work. It's like eating fucking 1,000 Skittles and then trying to just enjoy like an apple. It's they're trying to make you not breathe. They're trying to replace you. Literally, they are. And that's a fact. Mind-blowing. Totally different view of Nazis. Nazis were still not in the right path. They weren't Christian. They weren't logos-driven. They were still doing their own globalism. I think a lot of it, I don't know if Hitler was aware of the fact that he was controlled opposition, but he was. But, yeah, they were cleaning up the streets. Don't agree to war. It's a satanic ritual. You don't need to, do that. How do you stop porn? Hydration, sleep. This is the best way to stop porn. Understand it's a weapon and figure out your triggers. Like, when do you watch porn? When should you have your phone away from you? And it's really easy. And also, always sleep next to your wife. You know, start being like, you know, don't sleep in the guest room because you might be tempted to watch porn. Like, really think about when you watch porn and why and how. Are you lonely? Are you underslept? Did you have too much sugar? This shit matters because it's fucking your brain. How did I decide to stop? Is when I had kids. When I first had a baby, I didn't want to engage in that in the same house as my son. It felt so wrong. It just felt like watching something like that as my child slept under the same roof felt disgusting. Like, it was just a different feeling. I got a little hooked on porn when I would tour on the road a lot, especially with a girlfriend, because I couldn't have sex with strangers. Oh, such a buzzkill. But when I was home with my family, the juxtaposition was so insane between like that filth and my sleeping wife and baby that I was like, okay, what the fuck's going on here? You know, it couldn't be in the same house. You know, when I'm 4 days in a residence inn in fucking Chattanooga by myself, trying to stay faithful to a girlfriend, yeah, I got windows open like fucking Wolf Blitzer in the Situation Room. But when you actually are given any sense of beauty in your life or any good, you can't bring that demon in your world. It's fucking like my son deserved better than having that in the same fucking house. And now I can't even imagine. Porn is a demon, yes. It truly is. It's one of the worst there is. Is masturbation in general bad? Yes. But masturbation to porn is especially bad. Masturbation is it creates a loop, a feedback loop of your own energy, whether it's the female grounded energy feedback or the masculine live wire energy. And when you create a feedback loop into yourself, it can create narcissism, paranoia, anxiety, depression, materialism. You know, the best is the connection between the male and the female. The male electricity, the female grounded, that fucking loop, it's unbelievable. And jerking off is like you're grounding your own energy. Jacking off actually lowers testosterone too. It does. Why do you think I'm so jacked up all the time? People are always like, all these Zoomers, Knicker Nation is always like, you're on drugs, you're on cocaine. You're on cocaine. And I'm like, I don't whack off. Yeah, my roommate masturbates at least 3 times a day and is in as a gamma correlation. Not a correlation at all. Owen, how'd you break the demon that is lust? Stop watching porn. It's as if, guys, everybody has twinges of lust, especially in the springtime. It's just like twinges of rage, twinges of sloth, all of it. Watching porn is like going into a fucking, you know, what's that stuff called? Where you itch. It's like poison oak or something. It's like rolling around in poison oak and being like, how do you stop scratching? It's like you're seriously causing it. When you watch porn all the time, you sexualize the world. You know, if you don't think, you start not thinking like that. You really are training your mind. You know? And then when you actually have that connection, that physical connection, it's so much stronger because it's all right there. Like, do these porn watchers seem more sexual to you? Of course not. Their dick doesn't work. They're gamma liars. They have no game with girls at all because they're just very like, hey, zoom, zoom. You know, it's like they're just like cringe, cringe, cringe. There's no sexuality in them. So watching all that porn and whacking off, it's not making them more sexual. It's getting rid of their sexuality. Having a beautiful wife helps? Yes. You get a beautiful wife when you're a man. They don't get what a woman wants or even what they want. No, because it's a mirror facing themselves like this. It's the lowercase I. It's the small narcissist. iPhone, iPad. It ruins it. They don't know women because the porno women, it's not real. That's not what women really want at all. And women have a dirty side and everything. You know, women want to do women are very sexual, but that whole thing isn't what women want. If you try and watch pornos to understand how to do eye whack, that's hysterical. You're not pleasing women when you do that at all because you're not being a man, you're a gamma. You start lying, you start quivering, your dick doesn't work, and they never stop making it. No, it's unlimited porn for free in your pocket. Why? The thing that helped me is I'm such a fucking war monster. You know, not like Star Wars, but I have a little warlord in me. Listen, I'll be your leader when it collapses. No big deal, whatever. But when I found out porn was a weapon, it became so easy to quit because I saw an enemy. I didn't just see people having sex or women naked. I saw a weapon. You know, I saw Trojan horse. I saw spies, which is what it is. And so that was when I was like, oh yeah, you're gone. It's like when you find out someone that's being nice to you at a gym is actually trying to sell you a membership, you're like, get the fuck out of here. You know, everything changes when you know it's a weapon. I want to quit porn, but my penis can't. Your penis will thank you if you quit porn. How about this? Start by whack off without porn. Start there. Start there, and then go from there. Porn is a weapon. If you can't just go cold turkey, the most important thing is you stop watching pornography. And then from there, just go from there, you know? Because it's important you stop. It's making it so young men aren't having families. And that's going to affect my life negatively. So you're fucking me over. I'm serious. I quit porn, my wife loves it. Exactly. Like, you watching porn, whacking off, and not having a family, that hurts my family. Or just with magazines, no. Go only mental. If you need to whack off, no porn, because that means you don't even need to. And then you realize you don't really need to whack off. Because it's like, if you need a stimulant to whack off, it means you didn't really need to. It isn't like you're fucking 8 months in the slammer and your balls are just blue and you're like, ah! No, you're making yourself do it. This is my challenge to you, fellas. Whack off when you need to, but not with porn. You will realize that a lot of times you don't need to whack off. You just want to feel a little better because you're depressed. And you need porn to do that. And then you realize you didn't need to. Try whacking the classical nude paint. No, zero visual. Zero. Nothing visual. Nothing out there. And then from there, you can figure out how much you actually need to whack off. Porn is VR cucking. It is. Don't be a voyeur, because even if you look at a magazine or you look at a painting or something, you become a cuck. You're a voyeur. You're a peeping Tom. You're looking in a window. Oh, you're already becoming the outside man. You know, no visual, because that is what's wiring your brain. Don't get me wrong. The HD porn in the pocket, that's what's making things insane. But anything outside, and then it's like, if you really need to, then you'll reconnect. You'll figure out what you actually need. Like, just save your jizz strength. Think of Owen doing the Gollum voice when you do it. Ha! Whacking leads to homo and jazz. It does. Don't whack off. Like, don't whack off at all. Like, just don't, you know. But I'm trying to give you a road. It's like, start with no porn. Figure out how much you actually need to whack off. It'll surprise you. That a lot of times it's almost like smelling tons of hamburgers and being like, oh, I'm so hungry. It's like, well, what happens if you don't, you know, you're not around the smell of food all the time? And then go from there. But the goal is no whacking off, because that's a feedback loop into your own body that isn't good. You know, when you self-pleasure, it opens the door to narcissism. I am my own sex partner. It's easier to build muscle the less you whack off. Fact. Fighters would always not whack off before fights. Start with whacking to nothing to clear your head of urges. Exactly. Don't let other people manipulate what you find arousing. 100% most important issue going right now. DOD, you just keep saying, you've already said that once. Wise man. Oh, thank you. Well, I've been through it. I used to do a lot of whacking. I was alone on the road all the time. And I was on a lower vibrational world. Now it would be like I would be meeting bears, going to museums, working out more. You know, it would be a whole different world. Like I lost a lot of time whacking off. It's a time waste. Quitting sugar is much harder than quitting porn. Sugar's a bitch because it's everywhere. Did fasting give you any mental clarity? I didn't really fast very well. I'm working on it. You know, I quit. I don't watch pornography. I don't drink alcohol. I grow my own food. You know, just give me a fucking break. Owen already said his nose was broken in a fight as a child. My nose has been broken several times. Were you bored so you whacked off? Yes, I was also depressed and lonely, very lonely. And I was, when you're depressed, you want anything that will give you any type of oxytocin or serotonin released in your mind. But when you do like a lot of whack sessions, it actually has the opposite effect. You develop a tolerance to it, and then there's a lowering. So it makes you even more depressed. It's pump iron out your penis. Well said, Victor. All you need to do to quit is decide you don't want to anymore and mean it. I wish that were the case. That isn't the case. You have to get a literal game plan. You have to say, okay, what's my goal I can attain? No more watching porn. We'll see what I need. Stuff like that. Figure out when you're on your phone. Figure out what are your triggers. And then from there you go. And then replace it with something else. Start watching conspiracy videos. Watch my fucking streams. You know, because you'll get dopamine from new information. Information will give you a dopamine rush. My streams will help you quit that. Because there is dopamine to new information. Because the same instinct that makes us watch porn is what made us forage for nuts and berries. It's all real. I've researched a lot of this. It was very important for me to not do that. And so you have to fill the void with something healthy, God plus other habits. Right. Exactly. Everyone said you look cute. I'm going to go back in the backyard. Amy is beautiful. Oh, I know. That's why, you know, I'm motivated by her to be a better person. You know, I'm her protector. I am her protector. It's one of the reasons I'm sober. It's like, if anything happened, I can't be drunk. You know? It's like, God forbid anything were to happen to her or the kids, or an emergency happen. I can't be like 8 beers in. I gotta be ready to fucking kill people. She's amazing. Good work, Big Bear. She is. Okay, I'll give you this. This is why you shouldn't drink, you know? Let's say your kid fucking starts choking and you gotta drive him to the hospital right then, and you're 8 beers in. You're useless. That was the main motivator for me 100% with this shit. It's like, my first responsibility in life is protecting my wife. Stay there, buddy. And her first responsibility is protecting our children. And so my work and my purpose is to provide and protect for my wife, who provides and protects for our children. And it's all under the grace of God.